Today's video is about how inflation is stealing your retirement savings. I've done the figures and you can see what happens over time. I'm not a financial advisor, so please get financial advice from an expert. But as you'll see by this presentation, it's shocking. So just before we start, I've left a link to this presentation down in the description below, so you can go and check out the presentation. Please leave a comment and hopefully you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So I've gathered all this information from the internet and with the help of artificial intelligence, which has been really great. So this presentation is about understanding inflation's impact on Australia versus Thailand versus Vietnam on your retirement savings. So it's going to compare the different inflation rates, explore the impact of inflation on your retirement savings, and it analyses historical, recent and projected inflation trends and discusses the implications on your retirement savings. Okay, so here we go, the first slide. So in Australia, the historical inflation rate over the last 10 years was 2.1%, or has been 2.1%, which isn't too bad. Thailand has only had 1.1%, and Vietnam has had 3.3%. So that's over a 10-year period. So you can see there, Vietnam was higher, but it's starting to come down. So this is the recent inflation rates. So you can see here, Australia, over the past 2 years, they've averaged 5.6% inflation rate. Thailand, 2.7% inflation rate, and Vietnam, 3.2%. So you can see the differences there. So the inflation trend. So Australia over here. So they've got a 10-year average of 2.1%. Their most recent 5.6, it's come down a little bit now, but the 2-year has been 5.1. There's lots of discussion in Australia at the moment about whether the Reserve Bank increase interest rates again, because inflation's not dropping as fast as they had hoped. You can see Thailand down here is a lot different. So their 10-year is only 1.1%. Their most recent is 2.7, and their 2-year average is 2.1. And Vietnam over here, 10-year average of 3.3, most recent 3.2, 2-year average is 2.5%. If you want to pause any of this so you can have a look at these slides in more detail, please do that. So we've done the impact on $100,000 savings after 10 years. So this is your purchasing power, if you like. So if you've got $100,000 in Australia and you just left it in the bank without earning any interest or anything, in 10 years' time it would only be worth $81,235 in today's money, or your purchasing power. In Thailand, it would be worth $89,637 Australian. And in Vietnam, it would be only worth 72 because their inflation rate is higher. So this shows how $100,000 will be affected in each of the countries on their average historical inflation rates. So this has got a lot of really interesting data on it, this slide. Again, if you want to pause it so you can have a closer look, please do so. But this is your spending power after 2 years based on the recent rates. So after 2 years, if Australia's inflation rate's running at 5.6%, your $100,000 would only be worth $89,675 in today's money, your spending power. In Thailand, it will be worth $94,811 here. And in Vietnam, $93,000. So that is massive difference. So you can see there, inflation really does eat into your retirement savings. So the lower the inflation rate, the better. So if you've got $500,000, for example, in 2 years' time, that's only going to be worth $448,000. Where if you're in Thailand, that same money would be worth $474,000. So it's $30,000 difference in 2 years. That's massive. This is a long-term impact. So I've got, for this slide, it's based on $500,000. So after 5 years in Australia, your 500,000 would only be worth 389,000 in today's money. In 10 years' time, it would only be worth $304,000, which is a massive decline. In 15 years, it'd only be worth $237,000. So you can see there, once you move your mouse over, it comes up with the figures. In 25 years, your $500,000 would only be worth $144,000 in today's money in purchasing power. So to offset that, obviously you're not going to have your money just sitting there not earning any interest at all. So if this slide is based on if you're getting 4% interest on your savings, so then the figures change a lot. So this chart illustrates how fixed rate investment can help offset effects of inflation. So the red line shows how 100,000 would appreciate over 5 years with Australian current inflation rate of 5.6%. So after 2 years, with no interest on your money, your $100,000 goes down to $89,000. But if you're earning 4% interest, it would go up to $108,000. So all the figures are down here. If you want to pause the video and have a look, please do that. Key takeaways. Australia has experienced higher inflation recently compared to historical average and the other two countries as well. Thailand has consistently maintained the lowest inflation rates amongst the three countries, Australia, Thailand and Vietnam. Vietnam's inflation rate has decreased and stabilised in recent years, which is good news. The long-term impact of inflation can significantly affect your retirement savings in all three countries. A fixed rate investments can help offset the effects of inflation on your savings. And obviously the currency exchange, that makes a difference. So this is all based on Australian dollars. So the action steps are regularly review and adjust your retirement savings strategy. Consider diversifying your investments. Explore fixed rate investment options to help preserve your purchasing power. Stay informed about economic trends in Australia, Thailand and Vietnam. Consult with a financial advisor familiar with the three markets. Definitely do that. As I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I've just done the research and plucked out all these figures. But they're quite shocking when you see them here in black and white or in colour. And you need to factor in your lifestyle preferences if you're thinking about leaving Australia and retiring in Thailand or Vietnam. So I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. Once you see how inflation erodes your retirement savings, it is pretty shocking. So, yeah, I'd advise you to get some expert advice. All right, hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.